That was embarrassing. What is up, you guys? My name is Sky. This is Sunshine FC, and it's time to do a match review of Manchester United versus Brighton. I genuinely don't even know how I'm gonna get through this. Okay, so first things first, I was gonna pick a man of the match. I typically try to, but I just don't know. I don't know. I'm going to skip that segment for today. Let's get into the stats. So Brighton had a possession 56% of the game. Manchester United 43. Shots on target 8. Man United 4. Shots 14. Brighton 10. I feel like all of those shots, obviously outside of Hannibal's, were Rashford. If you're not laughing, you're crying. Okay. I mean, all the other stats speak for themselves. I think the most important one for me is, the efficiency of Brighton's shots. Because, they got 3 goals. Okay, I have my notes. So we're just going to go ahead and get into the rundown of what happened this game, and then I'm going to give my thoughts. So I was very actually impressed with how we started this game. We were very physical. I was impressed with Rashford. I feel like he was physical. I just feel like there was a lot of high energy, intensity, and we were really matching with Brighton in that, because Brighton has a lot of energy. We know this, and I was actually very impressed with how we started the game in terms of matching our physicality and energy with Brighton. At the 5-minute mark, Rashford had a shot on goal. And again, it was in that like 10-minute time frame at the beginning of the match where things were looking really well. At the 20-minute mark, though, Welbeck from Brighton scored his first goal of the season, and Welbeck actually used to play for Manchester United back in 2008. He's an older player. He's in his 30s, but like the fact that it was him at Old Trafford. Great. All right, so we're down 1-0 at this point at the 20-minute mark, okay? We have another shot on goal from Rashford at the 25-minute mark, and this is where, to me, Rashford started to go downhill. And the reason why I say that is because when things don't go our way for this team, we crumble. Rashford's body language and his reaction to things is insufferable to me. I hate the fact that he's always throwing his hands up and just, like slumping his shoulders. And when I see that, it just infuriates me, because as a former athlete myself, like, where's the passion? Where's the fight? Where's the not back down? And I think we get a lot of that from Højlund, which I appreciate. I'm going to talk more about Højlund later, but Rashford to me is let me just keep going, because I have a lot of things to say about Rashford. At the 33-minute mark, Rashford shoots again. He has a slight knee injury, but he's fine. He gets up. And then at the 40-minute mark, we actually did have a potential assist from Rashford. VAR saw that it was clearly out of bounds. It looked out of bounds to me, way out of bounds. So it was the right call. But it just sucks because I wanted that goal for Højlund. It was his, first start as a Manchester United player, and I just would have loved that for him, but it'll happen. He worked too hard for it to not to. And then at 46 minutes, right before halftime, we have another shot on goal from Rashford. So we're going into halftime down 1-0. And they're not great, but we still have a chance to win, right? But it's this moment here, in my opinion, that really showed me what Rashford is about, kind of what this team has been about. I use the term team very loosely because I don't think that we are one. At the 51-minute mark, right after halftime, we have a break. Højlund passes to Rashford. Beautiful pass. And then Højlund sprints. Højlund has really quick pace. And Rashford should have passed back to Højlund. I don't care what anybody says. Rashford's trying to be the hero of this team. He is not. you will have your moments. Let Højlund have his moments too. If Rashford passes back to Højlund at this particular moment, it would have been 1-1, and the game, I feel like, in my opinion, is much different. But no, Rashford decides he wants to keep the ball to himself and make this ugly shot that just makes no sense. Højlund is... I am so angry at Rashford and his selfishness and his greedy play that if I was the manager, he would have been off immediately in the game, the Arsenal game, when he didn't pass to Højlund. But this, Rashford would have been off. Martial would have not come in for Højlund. He would have come in for Rashford. That's all I gotta say. And then we get into a Brighton goal at the 53rd minute mark, which, you know, it is what it is. At the 63-minute mark is where we have these crazy substitutions that make no sense to me. And it's funny because the fans at Old Trafford were booing. Were they booing Ten Hag? Were they booing Martial? I don't really know. Were they just booing the decision in general? I think it could be a mixture of all of those things. But to see Højlund, this is why, to me, low-key, I want to make Højlund my man of the match, because, like, it's his body language, it's his reaction. And as such a young man, like, to see him and his character and his integrity of constantly working hard, constantly just presenting camaraderie and a teamwork when everything is going to crap, I appreciate. And so Erik ten Hag decides to sub Højlund off for Martial. And I think Casemiro comes off and Hannibal comes on. But I'm like, why are you subbing off Højlund? Like, I personally would have subbed off Rashford, but that's just me. That's just me. Maybe he didn't want Højlund to play a full 90 minutes, but I just loved Højlund's response here. At this moment, too, João Pedro comes on, and I immediately got nervous because João Pedro is on my fantasy team for a reason. And I'm just like, I'm feeling he's going to score because it's just the way that our season's going and the fact that it's João Pedro. And I was like, this man's going to score, and he did at the 71-minute mark. But then we had a great response from Hannibal, who, that goal was a shot in the dark. Like, it was beautiful. So Hannibal scored, so we were 3-1 there at that point. And then it's just kind of back and forth game. At the 83-minute mark, Wan-Bissaka, Pellistri, and Garnacho come on. Why? What? Well, to be fair, Ferguson came on for Brighton, and I don't understand that either. I feel like maybe the Brighton coach was just like trying to show off and be like, look what I got on the bench. But why? Why did he put these three on now? I'm telling you, being a Manchester United fan this season is the most humbling, character-building experience, and I don't understand. So yeah, that's pretty much the way the game went. I just need to get a few things off my chest. The first thing is, if Marcus Rashford doesn't pass the ball, I'm gonna freaking lose it. Okay, like, when I played sports, I played basketball too, so there were ample opportunities to have transition fast breaks, 3-on-1, all of that stuff. When I don't see other players capitalizing on these opportunities, it irks my nerves because that's literally the most selfish, tangibly selfish thing that you can ever see in sports, is not passing the ball to a teammate when they're clearly wide open. And that's why I hesitate to call Manchester United a team at this point, because I don't think that we are. I feel like some people are on the team, but others are really just in it for themselves. But that trickles down from the manager, because I feel like the manager may not have our best interest in mind when he's playing his favorites. Like, I'm all for backing a coach, but when there's clear favoritism on the squad, how can you continue to buy into that? And so part of me, I don't agree with Sancho, but part of me kind of gets it at the same time, And on top of it all, let's not forget, people, We play Bayern Munich on Wednesday. At this point, if you're not laughing, you're crying. So, yeah. I just had to get this off my chest. This is a quick video. That's it for me. I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you guys in another video. Let me know your thoughts. Bye.